cloud is a subject which, as much as I had heard from my friends, like I didn't take it as an elective in college, but like all my friends used to say that it's total theory. There's so much theory, like you just have to keep reading. And what I learned from cloud was just the practical part. And yeah, definitely the theory while doing the practical, but there's so much out there that you can do. So make sure that you're making like the best use of this session. I will also give a demo, and I'll try to have a hands-on also for as much as possible. So try your best to grab everything that you can. Okay. So let's get started. Just let me share my screen. So yeah, today let's get started with cloud. Is my screen visible?
It's loading. It's loading.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Okay, I'll stop sharing my camera, otherwise there might be some issue. Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So yeah, beyond this workshop, or like beyond the session also, if you want to connect with me, you guys can connect with me on Twitter or LinkedIn. It's kind of easy to find, and I think most of you all might be connected to someone who's already connected to me. So today we'll first go through the fundamentals of cloud. These are some things you might know or you might not, but let's just brush through it because it'll make it easy for us to understand the further training that we'll be doing. Then I'll give you all a demo about how this thing works, and then I'll show you all how you guys can get started through the Google Cloud Platform and Quick Labs. So before we start, a quick recap. What is cloud computing to you? You guys can unmute yourself or put an answer in the chat section, whatever's comfortable with you. I would prefer you guys unmuting. Don't worry, I'm not going to call out names, but yeah, don't feel shy. Go ahead and answer. Anything that comes to your mind first when you think of the word cloud or cloud computing.
Come on, guys. Someone say something.
Okay,
Being
yeah.
able to access IT resources from wherever you want, like anywhere, and it is on demand. Also, the pricing goes as if you pay as you go. So how much ever you need, you pay for that much only, and not something like which you are not going to use, like prepaid stuff. Okay.
Yep. Great, Shubham. That's the right answer. Nidhi says centralized and all-time access. Yep. Cool. Okay, so basically both of y'all are right. Cloud computing is, first of all, it's on demand. Whenever you require, you get these computer system resources. So depending on what type of cloud it is, you can choose from where you get it. Okay, those resources can be in your data center. It can be somewhere in any part of the world, but you are able to access them whenever you want. And it's through a pay-as-you-go model. You pay for only what you use. So this whole cloud can be used for various purposes, which we'll be talking about in the next slides. So why would we use cloud? So first of all, you don't have to do all the extra maintenance and all. So the maintenance cost reduces. Again, since it's a pay-as-you-go model, that cost also reduces. So have you guys heard of Capex and Opex? Just a yes or no would also do if you're not sure what it is. Okay. I'm getting those. So Capex is called capital expenditure and Opex is called operational expenditure. I'm not sure if this is a part of your portion, but yeah, this is something you guys can know, and it's really good because in cloud, you don't have Capex. What Capex is see, capital is basically a human resource, the money you spent on something like buying the data center or getting people to maintain the things. So all of that would come under your capital expenditure. And it is like investment that you have to do in the beginning, a huge investment. You don't know whether you're going to get benefits out of it for how much time. It's just like like for example, if you're having a private data center and you're hosting all your systems based on that server, then you are going to be using Capex. Okay. Now, compared to that, we have operational expenditure or OPEX. This is based on how much you're operating. A cloud is a model of OPEX. So what you would do here is you would just be using someone's data center whenever required and paying for that. So you're paying only for that amount of time for which you'll be using. A real life example of Capex and Opex would be, Capex would be, okay, if you're going to buy a house, you're going to a new city. You buy a house, that would be a Capex. You're paying for it, even if you're doing it in installments, you'll be paying the entire amount for it. Opex would be renting the house. Every month that you stay, you will be paying the rent. Okay, is this clear? Any doubts with that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So in cloud, we are converting Capex. We are going to reduce the use of Capex and we're going to use Opex here. And cloud, it's always up. There are downtimes. I'm not saying there aren't downtimes. There are times when the cloud server can be down, but it's minimal. And usually these cloud providers, they have a very less downtime period. And again, it's based on the amount you're paying and the resources that you have. Okay, again, it's easily upgradable. In real life, like, I mean, not in real life, sorry. Normally, if you are doing everything by yourself and you have your physical servers and you want to, like, your
Did I lose connection?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, I think she did.
Okay, we'll just hang on. I thought I lost connection. In college, the network is little bad today. Okay, so till then we've understood what is OPEX and what's the other thing ma'am had said? CAPEX, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Ma'am, am I
ma'am said-
audible? Really sorry.
Yes, yes.
Network
Yes, no
got
problem.
disconnected. Yep.
Okay.
So, like, can you just mention what is the last thing you heard? Probably was it the Capex Opex thing? I can just go through the other things again.
We heard about the OPEX, that is the buying the home and paying it on EMIs, and then later the monthly cost of whatever when you're staying at
Okay.
home.
Yep. So, just to reiterate over that, Capex would be buying the home. That is one time, or you're doing the without knowing how much return you would get. And Opex would be the renting part, or you just pay as you go. Okay. Now you might need to scale your system at any time. So for example, currently you have a small company, maybe 10 employees, and you think that you require a certain number of hardware and certain number of systems for the entire thing. So in the future, there's a possibility that your company increases. Now, if you have a normal data center within your company, you will require to buy more hardware. But in cloud, you don't have to worry about that. It's easily upgradable. The whole system is mostly up. It says always up here because it's negligibly down. So based on the resources that you use, and there are some service level agreements that you will learn about later, like when you actually start working with cloud. So all those things mention how much of downtime period is there. It's pretty less. It's like 7 minutes in an entire year. They have maintenance periods and all in between, but it doesn't affect your productivity at all. So it seems as if it's always up, and it gives you like the best benefits. Next, you can be productive anywhere. You don't have to just be working from your office system. when you're making use of the cloud, you can be sitting at any place of the world and be accessing the entire database or whatever that you require. Okay, so these are a few of the reasons why we would prefer cloud, and there are a lot more actually, which you can also read up. Like if there's something that you want, if you know about and you want to speak about, you guys can add it in the chat section as well. I think Shubham, did you have any doubt? You put a question mark here, or was it when I dropped off the meeting?
Yeah, when you, I think, dropped off the meeting.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So let's move to the next thing. Where do we use cloud? So how many of you guys, I think most of y'all have used some application of cloud at some point of your life, and it's pretty sure that you have. So would you like to tell where all that you have used cloud in your daily life? There are icons on the screen. That's just to help. Google Office. Yeah, Google itself has its own Google Cloud. Your Google Docs, Sheet, everything. Even the recording, which ma'am is doing right now, it will be shared to your drive, in your drive, which is the Google Cloud. Okay, Netflix, great. OneDrive, yes. Just like Netflix, your music, whatever you guys hear, all of that data is stored in a cloud. Yep. GitHub is also a cloud-based system. OTT platforms, yes. Spotify, yes. So yeah, most of the data that you get, all of it actually is stored on a cloud. Okay. So, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. See how easy, how useful cloud is to you. So yeah, we have a lot of different things where we can use it. You have, first of all, since it's device and location independent, you can be using it anywhere. Your music, your data storage, yeah, gaming also. There are certain cloud gaming things as well. So, one second, I guess someone said something.
Joseph, you raised hand. You have a question. Joseph?
No, miss, by mistake.
Okay. Sorry for that, Ritika.
No problem, no problem. So yeah, the major things cloud is used for, major three things. File storage. Whenever you want to store files, basically all these platforms, whichever you talk about, they also store their files on the cloud. Next, once you have it, sharing through the cloud itself becomes really easy. And the third thing is backing up. Now you have your WhatsApp. You might be backing up to Google Cloud. You might be backing up to your device. The device backing is not cloud, but yeah, people prefer backing up things so that they don't lose their data, and it becomes really easy with the cloud. So we have three different types of cloud: the public cloud, private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. Now, public, it basically is like you have your hardware or you have your resources, and it is shared between people of different organizations. Okay, public cloud is usually cheaper. It can support multiple customers for that particular resource itself, and it supports connectivity over the internet, and it is suited for less confidential information because you are actually sharing your the servers, the entire hardware with someone else as well. Though you won't be using their content, but it is less secure than having the entire hardware for yourself. Okay. In private cloud, now the same resources are all like entirely for you. You are going to be using it. It's for dedicated customers. The connectivity is over a private network, and it's more suited for secure networks. Okay. Now, hybrid cloud, as the name suggests, it's a hybrid of both private and public. So a private cloud definitely costs more than public, right? So hybrid would be in between. You can use it as per your requirements. Okay, it's pretty flexible. Based on what you require, you can also have it's basically a model which combines both, right? So therefore, you can use the best of both of them. Like you can try to make it as secure as possible with a lower investment, and use all the other capabilities like the computing power, storage space, and network capacities in the best way. So these are the 3 different types of cloud. Okay, so next we're going to move to the cloud-based services. So, okay, at any point of time, if you guys are feeling sleepy or something, let me know. It's just like a few concepts that we will cover before getting into the demo and the hands-on. So this is one concept which is very important, which if you go anywhere in any kind of cloud or like that you're starting, you have to know about this. So there are 3 kinds of cloud-based services. First one is infrastructure as a service. Now, infrastructure, like as the name suggests, it's about the underlying infrastructure. It can be your virtual machines and the storage and all of that. Okay. Then we have platform as a service. Here you are giving the platform, like all the things that would be required. It's not your software, it's just the underlying operating system and all. And when you come to software as a service, there are softwares provided. Most commonly, we've been using SaaS in our daily life. I'll give you all examples as we move to the next slide. So, okay, before we get into this, I want to ask you guys, how many of you guys like pizzas? Great. So if you feel like, if you're craving for a pizza, how is it that you would be, like, how would you consume it? Would you I'm not asking you like, how are you going to eat it? How are you going to digest it? No. What are the different ways in which you can get a pizza? Order it, correct. Make it, right? What else? Steal it, okay. Ask someone else to make it, okay. Physically buy it, yeah, you can go to the hotel or wherever and buy it. Cool. So let's try to understand these 3 concepts using the analogy of pizza, okay. So we are comparing these 3 with the on-premises deployment, that is in your data center, whatever you have, okay. So if you make a pizza in your house, you would be managing the kitchen, gas, oven, the pizza dough, toppings, and then cooking the pizza. You have to do every single thing when you make it in house, okay. This is your baking, or like you'll basically go buy all the ingredients. You will use your kitchen, gas, oven, and make it. Next, you use the kitchen or the infrastructure as your service. Okay. Like you're using someone else's kitchen and you are making everything. So over here, the vendor or whoever you are taking help from will give you the kitchen, gas, and oven. And you are going to bring the toppings and then cook the pizza yourself. So what if you want to go and use like a platform as a service? So here, our platform for pizza is the pizza dough or the base. So the vendor will even give you that. All you got to do is stop the pizza and cook it. Okay, this can be, you get those pizza bases, right? You might be getting that and you might be using it in a kitchen with someone's renting you. The last one, this is what you would get if you just order a pizza in a hotel or you order it at home. They have like they use the kitchen, gas, oven to make the pizza. Everything is done, and all you have to do is eat it. Okay. So the first one, which was made in house, that is considered like when you are doing every single thing. This is the on-premise deployment. It's how it's done traditionally. In kitchen as a service or infrastructure as a service, you get the infrastructure and the toppings, the dough, the pizza, the work, what is to be done is done by you. So here you get an advantage that it's heavily customizable. Okay. You can decide what is the shape of the pizza. You can make a star-shaped pizza if you're really expert in making these shapes. So you can choose what design it can be. You can customize it in different ways. When you're walking in and baking, you cannot customize this, but the toppings and the cooking, how much you want to bake it, that can be customized. That is platform as a service. And software or pizza as service would be your entire thing. Now in clouds, the bottom four are not used. These are the names you'll be using. Just understand that the flexibility reduces as you go towards the right. So if you want to, if you are a newbie or you don't want to do a lot of changes, then you will be using software as a service. And then if you're a little bit better, maybe you're an IT administrator, you can go for platform as a service as well. And if you're, then you might go for either of these. Okay. Someone who is total new might go for this. Okay. Anyone has any idea of, like, you guys, like, by understanding what these things are, do you guys, can you guys think of, like, from this example, I'll definitely explain it a little bit better in the next slide, but I want to know, like, do you guys have any idea, like, what could be examples of software as a service?
Netflix.
Yep.
Google Office services, docs, sheets, slides.
Yep. Google email also. Great. So yeah. So now when we talk about these services, let's understand what all are managed by us and what all are provided by the service provider. On the on-site, we'll be managing the applications, the data, runtime, the middleware, operating software, operating system, the virtualization, servers, storage, networking, literally every single thing. So these are like from bottom to the top. Okay. So this is from the infrastructure, you go up. Now, when you go to infrastructure as a service, all this infrastructure is provided by the service provider, and the rest, the platform and the application side, will be done by you. In platform as a service, all of this, including the platform, that is your runtime, middleware, and OS, will be given by the service provider. Applications and data will be managed by you. And when you go to software as a service, everything is provided by the service provider. Okay. Any doubts still here? Anything that you want to clarify? These are like the fundamental concepts, and it will be really important for you.
Anyone has any doubts, questions, please ask.
No, ma'am.
Even if you guys have doubts later, you can ask me at the end also. Okay, just note it down if you have something else later also, or if you guys get it later.
The pizza example was very nice. Yeah. Okay.
I hope you should.
Yeah. I really loved it. Yeah. Nice way. Yes.
Thank you,
Ma'am, I have one small doubt.
Ask me, Dee.
Ma'am, would Drive be software as a service?
Okay.
Would Drive come under SaaS?
Yep. So Google Drive, right?
Yes.
The storage is provided. You're also getting the whole runtime. Okay. You're also getting the entire the UI, every single thing. All you do is you use it to put your data on it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's your answer. If everything is provided to you, what would it be?
Okay. So, ma'am, can you give an example of PaaS, because I would want one. An application that comes under this category.
Okay. So basically, For PaaS, you use these different cloud service providers, okay? And you would be designing something on top of it. Now, for example, I would say if I have to create something, I would go, I'll use the Google Cloud Platform. It has an app engine. Everything would be provided to me. I build the application on it, okay? And I'm going to feed the data also to it. Same with IaaS. All of these different cloud providers, right? They have their on-site, they have their infrastructure as a service where they only provide the infrastructure. You can design your operating system, middleware and all. Now, you can
May
take
I
up
interrupt one
Microsoft
minute?
Azure.
May I interrupt 1 second?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. Nidhi, to your question and with Vritika ma'am's consent also, maybe I can put GitHub under PaaS because that's giving you a platform where you will be going and using and and putting your stuff. Can I say GitHub is PaaS, Vritika?
Oh, okay.
No, ma'am, like for a PAS, like not exactly. It's basically a SaaS because again, the entire thing is there. So a PaaS is mostly when you design it and like where you have to do the entire work.
Okay. Uh, okay,
See
fine.
here, the whole Git version control software, it's giving you the space, but it has the whole software. Like you can access the application. Now you can't go and change the GitHub side, right? So
Okay.
probably if you're making a
Yeah.
clone out of it, like a GitHub clone or something, that could be a PaaS.
Okay. So there is a small version out of it which can be considered as a because I was
Yep.
reading and that day I came across and I was like, wait, let me just check. So I thought I'll just put it forward. Okay, fine, fine. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry to
Yep.
interrupt.
No problem. I hope I cleared it out, Nidhi.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so Srinidhi has asked, what about Azure VMs? Now in Azure, you have the VMs, right? It's a virtual machine. He didn't ask me about the entire thing. So VMs are, as I said, it comes into virtualization. That would be your infrastructure. Okay, so it's the infrastructure part. And hence, Azure VMs are considered as infrastructure as service. Okay. So moving on, we have different cloud providers. I'm not going to mention all of them. There are many of them. There are some open source cloud providers also, which would give you cloud services for free. So depending on your requirements, you can Google out and check what exactly you want. The prices are also different. So the leading one currently, which most people have been using, and one of the reasons for that is because when they started, they focused on developers. They have a lot of developer groups and all of it. And, like many people, like a lot of people are into this field. And when they are developing, they want someone who is more developer friendly. So AWS is the top one, that is the most used, followed by Azure. Azure is developer friendly as well. They get more of their clients from businesses and the government sector and all. And then we have our Google Cloud, which is another great one. It has a very simple interface. It's very easy to learn, and it's like coming up soon as well. And then we have IBM, some other famous ones also, like the IBM Cloud and Salesforce. So today we're going to work with the Google Cloud Platform. Now, Google Cloud Platform has various services, which include data transfer, the Internet of Things, like you name it and you get it. If you're interested in ML and AI or data analytics, there's a lot for that. If you're interested in the infrastructure as a service part, where you want to get into networking or you want to get to know more about the virtual machines, then it has that. You interested in big data? That's there. Just cloud computing, then you have the whole system. A lot of things to explore. Even when the demo starts, I'll be just showing to you all the basics and all, and I'll explain you all, and it will be really useful to get started with it. So before we get started, some concepts that you require to know. Resources. So basically in a Google Cloud Platform, when you start it, when you use it, you have a project. You create a project, and that project would be the main repo, which would have all your all your data, all the resources, and every single thing. It's that thing which gives your it basically gives your project and like your whole thing an identity. It will be identifying whatever thing you're doing with that project ID. Okay. Then we have resources. Resources are different items that you might be using throughout. You can give them names. It could be a virtual machine. It could be maybe some queries. All of those are resources. Now, resources are have to be in some kind of places, right? They have locations. Now, if these resources are in certain zones and are used by them, it would be zonal resources. Those which are available everywhere are the global resources. Now, if you see this image, this would be these like Western US, Central US, Eastern US, Western Europe, Eastern Asia. These are called regions. Now, the data centers are located all over the globe, and they divide the globe into different regions. And then you can choose which zone under that region you want to be in. It's a good habit to keep your resources in a zone and a region which is closer to you. However, there are some resources which might not be available in certain regions. So based on where these resources are available, you can, when you are getting those, you can get the region which is closest to you and has most of the resources. So do you guys know what virtualization is, or any idea about it? Okay, Srinidhi, a while earlier you said Azure VMs. So do you know what VMs are? Virtual machines.
VMs are virtual machines that are actually on the cloud. I have used one, but I exactly don't know what happens in the background.
Okay. Anyone else who has any idea? Okay, let me get started. Don't worry. So you have your physical hardware, right? So right now, if you're accessing this from your laptop or your mobile, you have a hardware. There's only one operating system that you're accessing, the one you're currently working on, correct? What if you could host more than one OS? I'm not saying of dual booting or dual OS where you have Linux and this thing. No. For example, I am currently on Windows right now. What if I can open, like from my Windows only, I can open Linux on it? So basically, it would just be any other file on my system. It's like just on the, so like how I can open any other file on my system, it's just there. I click it, open it, and I can minimize it whenever I want and come back to this OS and use it. Okay, so basically it's another OS running on my current OS. Why would I be using such a thing? So basically, what if I have two different tasks. I am doing some personal work and I am doing some work for my office. Now, I don't want to mix it all up. I want to keep them separate. So I can use a virtual machine for my work, which can provide me things that I require there only. Like maybe I need to work on a Linux system for office. So I'm going to create a virtual machine with a Linux OS and give it all the specifications that it requires. Now it's going to use the same hardware which my main system is using. Okay, it's the same physical hardware. It's just that it's another operating system on it. Okay, and we have some term called as virtual machine image. Now, basically an image is a template for creating new instances. I'll be showing that to you all during the demo. An image could have your OS. It could tell you're using a Linux OS, Windows OS, whatever it is, and what are the different requirements of it. So you can also create new images, but most commonly use images which are there. Okay, so let's move on to the demo. Before that, I'll just show you guys a few things. Okay, and I'm going to suggest you one thing, like during the demo, try to pay attention. I know it's really exciting to get started. And even like when I was a student, I used to have this feeling, okay, like when they're doing, how about me doing it? But most often you tend to miss out on the little things which are being explained. So I'll give you all time to go out and try, but try to grasp as much as possible and listen while I'm explaining, and then I'll show you all how to get started. Because it's not like I'll give you all a better way to get started with this whole thing without spending any money or anything. Okay, so this site, what you all see right now, is the Google Cloud Platform site. So this is how it looks. You get in, it gives you details about it, why Google, the different solutions, products, and the pricing. You can get started for free. I think you would get 200 credits per month, like when you click this. Don't do this while I'm telling. Trust me, I have a better solution for you all to try. You can use this perhaps when you are working on a project or something, because okay, it gives you 300 credits to be spent over the 90 days. And this is like for the free trial. You have to give in all your details, and there you go. Okay. Okay, sorry, I am supposed to be sharing that screen. Yep. So you have to log in, you have to give in your details, and you get your 300 credits, $300 credits for the next 90 days. Okay, so this is how your thing would look. Again, coming back to the main page. So this page is something you will require when you're working with Google Cloud. We all know we use the internet extensively to get solutions. We might be asking questions on Stack Overflow. A lot of times you'll be confused as well. Always make use of your Googling skills. Make sure that you use the internet to its best. Right now, with the onset of the pandemic, with people moving online, a lot of people had more queries. So it means more solutions. So literally every single thing is online. Now, if you guys are working maybe like with currently, and maybe your friends also doing, ask them, discuss with each other. You guys might yourself find some answers to the problems you're facing. So this site, which I'm giving, you guys can note these sites down as well. This is the documentation for the Google Cloud Platform. So most of the things that you require, like the use cases, then you can also see some how to use Google Cloud for different programming languages, then different applications, like how to run a managed Node.js app on an app engine. Most of this would be here. Then even if you want to try out queries, like you guys might have used MySQL, right, for database management system, or some might have used MongoDB. So Google Cloud has its BigQuery. This is mostly used for the big data. So if you want to learn how to use the SQL code in it, it's pretty simple. It's the same. It's similar to the SQL code, maybe a little bit tweaks here and there, but it's your SQL code which you were using if you have worked with SQL. So you guys can go out and check it out. Everything would be explained in a step-by-step manner. Okay, so docs for this is really, really helpful. Now that was Google Cloud Platform. I'm going to show you guys like a demo in which I'll show the things. Just give me a minute. I'll show how you access the Google Cloud Platform, and then we'll move on to how you guys can try it out. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me share the screen. Oh. Okay, did I stop sharing the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, just a minute then. Okay, is my screen visible?
Not yet. Yes, it is loading.
It's visible now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how your Google Cloud Platform dashboard will look like. So here you will get all the details, yeah, like the project you're working on, the name, the ID, the number, APIs, whatever you've used, your billings, your resources. So all little things are here. This part would give you the project ID that you're working on. If you want to work on something else, you can come here. You can create a new project also. It would just be new project. And then you add your thing, you give billing account and the locations. Okay. So apart from this, like as this shows, this is the dashboard. You also have activity, which shows what all activities you've done till now. You can also search out based on different filters. Then, so here you will see that all these different activities are done. Like there's something called as IAM, which I'll talk about. So that's also done. So most of it is done. Then recommendations would give you how you can make your whatever you're using better. Okay, so if you have a virtual machine, how can you make it more secure? How can you increase its SLA or reduce the downtime timings? Or if I'm using security, now IAM means identity and access management. So basically, basically, if you're working in an organization or you're working on a project, maybe different people have different rights over the project. Like, okay, consider a normal use case. You are working in a company. Maybe the developers have more rights. You move out, get to the audience. You might be having the rights to read the content, or maybe the testers or something. You get a little bit more rights, but you won't get to delete existing content. Okay. So depending on your role in the organization, you might have different permissions to use different items or access different things. So that is your identity and access management. So now it's basically telling me to increase the security of my cloud. I can remove or replace some members, and that would give me some better security. Okay. So recommendations is something which can also help you. Okay, first we'll just go through the nav bar. So right now we have home. Home, as you saw, the dashboard activity recommendations. File store would give you the backup and whatever. So we have something called as the marketplace. Let me show you guys how the marketplace looks. Okay, so in the marketplace, you might want to buy certain kind of solutions. Okay, so you will go here and you can purchase them from here. So for example, I can check out, okay, based on different filters. Maybe I want to go and try out something. Okay, let's try out something simple. MongoDB Atlas. I want to have that. I will open it and then I can check the pricing. So it will give me all the plans, and based on that, I can choose what I want. It also gives you the documentation and everything. All kind of support is also provided here. So in the marketplace, you buy something or you have to get something for yourself. Now, moving on. Right now, maybe what if I want to use marketplace a lot of times? Like when I shift the page, I won't get it. Like, okay, let's not take marketplace. Let's say something like BigQuery. It's so down. I have to scroll down every single time. All I got to do is I pin it and it comes on top. So whenever whatever I do, it'll always be there. So it's a really good habit. If you're using a certain thing very often, then make sure that you pin it and keep it on top. Now, just to talk about BigQuery, it will give you all these different things. You can monitor it. You can go to your SQL workplace. You can add queries. If you have a data set, you can get different data. You can use it for data analytics and all. And it's quite often used. So billing would give you details on the billings. APIs and services, if you want to get some APIs, you're going to use this. It has a whole library, and I'll just show you this. Yeah, and credentials is basically to get keys. Like if you're using some APIs, you might require keys for them, so you can get the keys. I'll show you the APIs first. So your API library looks something like this. Now, if, for example, I want to have a map SDK for Android, so it's already enabled. So if it's not enabled, I would have clicked this button called enabled API and enable it, and then I would enable it. Okay. So now what if I want to create a credential for this, a key, and I want to use it? So you come to this credentials page, you click create credentials and choose what you want. So if I want an API key, it will create. Make sure you don't use my key anywhere because it's not going to work at all. Because if someone, it's just for one thing. So, and yeah, I mean, it is not supposed to be used by others. It's unique. So I can even restrict key if I want to. Okay, and do whatever the things are. So you can also regenerate key, use the keys for whatever purpose it is. Try to avoid sharing your key in public because like for example, if you're working on something and you share the key, it reduces the security of your program. Now, if you have any doubts, you want any kind of support, you can use your chat, phone, or community support from here. I am an admin, as I told you all. Try out the IAM. It will give you all the different people in the organization, what roles they have. Just a minute. Yep. So there are various roles. Like the editor will have rights to editing the entire thing. Like you see, there are some permissions also here, which you can check out. Then you can see the different kind of roles that they get. Like this one is the owner. Now, student can be editor as well as a viewer. Now, someone can be the admin for BigQuery. So based on your roles, you will get different kind of permissions. Now, if you want to add or remove, you use these. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, so getting started is just a guide to get started. Read about compliances, security. Now, we spoke about VMs. Now, if I want to create a VM, I'm going to use this compute engine. I'm going to go to VM instances. So let's try it out straight away. Or before that, let's just have an idea about these things and then go. So there's something called as containerization. And if you want to containerize or so basically you put your application into different containers. So if you want to use this thing called Kubernetes, you can use this for that purpose. Then we have our serverless computing. This is for storage, the databases, application, all your networking related things, and monitoring. And if you're interested into DevOps or something, basically the whole development lifecycle, we have CI/CD, and we have other tools as well, and your big data. Okay, so there's a lot of things. You guys can go out and try all of these later. If you have doubts about them, you can ask me also. So right now, apart from the navbar, there's this activate Cloud Shell, which you have. You can click this button to activate it. Okay, so you get this. So this is your Cloud Shell. It is just like, it's basically a command line interface for the whole thing you get. You can choose whether you want to use the GUI or you want to try it through the Cloud Shell. Now, let me, so what if I want to know who are the authorized users here? So there's this command, gcloud auth list. I try it out. Since it's my first time, I need to authorize it. Okay, it says the active account is this account which I'm using currently. Cool. Now, next, I want to know which all are the projects which are already there. So I'm going to try cloud config list project. Okay, it tells me the project name which is there. What if I want to create a new file? So I know you guys might have some confusion about, like, there might be a lot of code. I will try to restrict it, but just a few things which you need to know, like to know how to open, how to check which accounts are there, and which projects are there. Okay, so what if I want to create a new file? I'm going to use the touch command, and maybe this is my file name. So it created a new file. Let me check if this file already is created. So the command ls is used to list the directories and the files which are present. So it has a cloud readme file and a test file. So if I want to add some content in the file, I use the term nano, and then next to it, the name of the file. So I'm here. Let me write hello world. Okay. And I want to exit, sorry. And I want to save it. You can click enter. So basically you have to click Control X to exit, then type Y, which will be a yes, and then the file name, and then enter. So I'm not sure whether my file is already written or not. I want to test if it's there. I am going to write cat test.txt. It says hello world. It gives me my response. Okay, is it clear till now? Any queries? Yeah, the commands, if you all are like seeing it for the first time, it might sound a little bit different, but any other queries regarding this? Guys, feel free to tell any doubts if you guys have.
There's a question in the chat box by Shubham. He is asking, cat is concatenate.
Okay. Yep. So cat is concatenate, and we use it. It's used in Linux, right? The same command. Yep.
Any other questions anyone has? Okay.
Okay. So now let's get started with creating our first VM instance. So give me a minute. Okay. So here you go. You have your navbar. Compute engine. Okay. This is where you go. You go to VM instances. Let me just bring it down. So for the first time, what would you do? You're going to click create instance. Okay, so I'm going to keep instance 1 as the name. You can decide what kind of name you want. Labels, let's not add. US Central 1 LOA is fine. I'm going to use US Central 1A zone also. Machine family. So basically, region and zone I've explained to you all. The name is something which would stay. And then this machine family would, like, depending on what your load is, you can even check what it is used for. So a general purpose is for common workloads, for cost and flexibility. Series. Now, series is basically, one second. It's, you can choose out from the different ones. You will get the different series based on what I like, and you'll get an explanation about them. Now, I would choose the N1 series. Then in machine type, again, you based on what your requirement is, you can choose what you want. So whether it's 1 vCPU or you want 2 vCPUs, and how much memory is required. You can also customize the vCPUs in memory if you require that. Okay, so now currently I have two vCPUs and a 7.5 GB memory. I also have to see the boot disk. By default, I would get a new 10 GB balanced persistent disk. So if you see, there are some default values over here, right? Like this one. Now, if you try to go and make a virtual machine using your command line interface, that is your Cloud Shell, and you don't add some of these values, then these default values would be taken, like the one right now. Okay. Now, I can choose what kind of traffic I want to get from the internet, like the HTTP traffic. So when I type HTTP, will I get it, or HTTPS traffic? This is for the firewall rules. Okay. So I choose HTTP traffic and I'm going to click create. So basically it creates the VM instance. You can close this. Okay, like this is your instance, it's getting created. Okay, here you go. Your instance is running. Now, the next step would be trying this SSH. So you have your image here, right? And you want, like our main purpose right now is we are creating a virtual machine, which will be running a website, okay? So this thing is your SSH and you are going to install a server on it. And this server will help you run your website also, okay? So we are going to do this. So it's basically giving you root access to the whole system. Now, as the root user, like there's an OS already, and I want to update it to the latest one. So this is what you would type. So now my Debian is entirely being updated. You will see all of this. So it's done. And I'm going to install the Nginx. So if you want to do that, you would write apt-get install Nginx. Okay, so this way.
Ritika, excuse me, Ritika.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I didn't share the screen. Yeah, I realized. Sorry. Okay, I'll just
to interrupt. Sorry.
Thank you so much for letting me know. I didn't realize it. I'll just tell you guys what I did, okay? So this is the first command which I used. It's basically to give you the root privileges, okay? So now once you are the root user, you're going to update your existing you're going to update your existing OS using this command. So as you see, we were using the Debian one, so we just updated it. Okay. Once this is done, just a minute. So we basically want to have our server. We want to install the Nginx server. Here. So I use this command apt-get install nginx -y, and it installs the entire server for me. Okay. So once that is done, you want to confirm that is running. Okay. So one of the major things you're going to remember, but even when you're coding, you might be doing this. So when you try something, test whether that command is successful instead of waiting for the entire thing and then realizing that it never worked. So we are going to try this. These are some commands which exist, and it might take you some time to understand and see all of it, like to learn these, to know this, but eventually, like, don't worry, because it does seem a lot for the first time. So just try to understand the basic thing right now, you'll get it. Okay, now this one says that Nginx is already installed, and now it's time for us to check whether it works. Okay, like I'll just show you guys. Just a minute. Let me open the other browser where it's opening. Just give me a minute. So this is the VM instance page. Okay. So okay, so this is how it was looking earlier. Now what happens is you want to, there are a lot of other things. You can either scroll here. The info panel is not required, so I'll just do hide info panel, and I'm going to open external IP and I'll check if that page works. This is how our page looks like. You've just installed the Nginx web server and it's working for you. Okay. Might have, okay, earlier I hadn't switched tabs. Sorry, Shubham. Okay, great. Is this clear till now? Like, did it seem simple? I think we just took less than 5 minutes to complete this entire thing where you have your own virtual machine with a server on it. Okay. So we can also create instances using the Cloud Shell. It's done in a similar manner. There'll be just a few commands that you have to put, and that will help you get it done. Cool. So just a minute. Let me get back to the other screen. Okay. So this is your tab, right? So let's put a command. Let's create another virtual machine using the cloud shell. Let me write it. So give me a name. What do you guys want to name it as? I'll pick the first one from the chat section. Pizza. Okay, let's name it Pizza. So this is the command, okay? gcloud compute instance create, and now you would get your name, Pizza. Then you choose your machine type. I'm going to choose the same N1 that we chose earlier, and we had chosen 2 vCPU, so that would be your N1 standard 2. Okay. Once you do that, you have to choose the zone in which you are in. We had chosen US Central 1A, so we are going to choose that. So it's going to be US Central 1A. Okay. Okay. I just messed it up. I was checking on the other page. Okay, cool. So this is cool. So you create that. Okay. So I messed it up. This thing was create instances. So this is how you will get to know about your errors. Okay. Just check out. It might be one of them. So the upper arrow on your keyboard can be used to access the previous one, whatever you had written. I'll just go and change it to instances. Click enter. So this might take some time at times. Okay, you see our virtual machine is created in US Central 1A, N1 standard 2, your internal and external IP can be seen here. Now you want to even check it on this page. You can just refresh the page and you will get it. Was it simple? See, we have two virtual machines right now. One is instance 1 and pizza. Okay. So if you notice, your external IP is not you can copy it, but here it's literally like it's hosted. Here it is not. You don't have a server connected. You would use the same process to install the Nginx server like I had shown earlier. Okay. So this is how you would create your basic virtual machine. Since this is the first time and there's too much to grasp, I'm not. Is there a reason you should use the second method over the first one? If you are comfortable coding, and you might, you can create a lot of more, many times, Cloud Shell will let you give you more flexibility. But however, if you want the ease, because the GUI is present and all the things are already given, you can use that directly. So here also you were choosing the zone and all, right? All those options were already existing in your GUI. So you can choose whichever method you want and explore it. Whatever you feel comfortable with, use that. Because like I've seen there are some people who prefer the Cloud Shell over GUI. The reason being that they might be familiar with Linux commands and all, and a lot of the commands are, it's pretty similar to these. So yeah. Okay, so so let's get back to the presentation. Okay, so now do you guys want to try this thing yourself? Okay, honestly, before this, has anyone worked with Google Cloud Platform or any cloud providers? Anyone who has worked on it? Anything, just let me know. Okay. Okay, great. So
Srinidhi, you have not worked?
I thought Srinidhi had worked.
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't hear the question. What was it?
Did you work on a cloud thing earlier?
No, I worked on an Azure VM, which is I was taking up a course on Tableau and DataCamp.
Okay.
So they had Tableau installed on a virtual machine, Windows virtual machine on Azure.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I worked a little bit on that, but yeah, nothing apart from that, nothing specific.
Yeah. And Nivan did the Google Cloud Ready Facilitator program. So he has an idea about this. Great. Cool. So let's also get started. Now, I had shown you all the Google Cloud Platform already. Okay. So we are not going to use it directly. Reason being, I'm going to give you all a simpler way to save your credits. You can use the Google Cloud Platform when you maybe are working on a project and you actually want to use your credits. Okay. So first of all, I'll show you all the QuickLab platform. QuickLabs would be your guide through the Google Cloud platform. It is really helpful. I started my journey in Google Cloud using QuickLabs. It gives you a lot of, like you have labs and it will give you the guided instructions. So you don't have to worry. And you can also test whether you're right or wrong. Okay. So let me get back to showing you all how QuickLabs looks like. Okay. Okay, so this is how your QuickLabs page will look like. I'm sharing the link in the chat section. You will have to click when you come here, it's going to give you all the labs which are popular. And okay, let me increase the size probably. The popular labs and how what you can start with. You can choose based on a learning path that you want to take. Probably you're interested in cloud. Probably you're interested in data. You can just go and search for it and then do a lab accordingly. Okay. So Quick Lab has something called as quests and skill badges. We are not like, it's not like you have to do it. You can take up labs itself, but when you get these, you complete these, you can put it up on your resume. Also, you can put it up on your LinkedIn as well, and as you have a profile where people can see how much or what you have got. So I'll show you all how this thing would go. Let me sign in. Okay, so here is where you will get all your different, it was in the catalog, it will give you all the different things. My learning would give you all the labs that you have already completed. Okay, so all of it would be there. Now, there'll be something called as public profile here. Okay, enable. So I can click that enable public profile, and it will help me get a public profile. Now I'll show you how the public profile looks like. See, this is something which will be helpful to you as people know what you've learned and what you've worked with. So this thing is called skill badge. It's like a certificate. It guarantees that you worked with it and you have some knowledge about it, like you can use it on projects and all. Okay, so all of this is shown here, and it's a really great update to your resume. Like if you're getting into the cloud, into some kind of cloud computing role, you could be a cloud software engineer as well. You could be working on, or you can be working on in a cloud company with data, ML, or whatever. It's really helpful. Another thing, you do not have to worry. So maybe you have worked with Google Cloud earlier, or you've worked with Azure earlier. But the best part about these is the cloud, like the concepts of cloud are the same. The GUI, the user interface might vary from platform to platform, but once you have an idea about how this is, it will become really simple. Okay, so now let me show you guys how Quick Labs lab would look like. Okay, so let's go to a basic lab. Tour of Quick Lab. Okay, I'm gonna share with you guys the link also, so you guys can maybe try it out. It's the first lab that usually people take up when they start their journey in Google Cloud. It helps you basically to understand what Quick Lab is and how to use it to use the Google Cloud platform. Okay, so as you can see, you will have like your content, your theory, which will be explaining you about it. Try not to miss it. Okay, you're not in a hurry. You're doing this because you're learning the whole Google Cloud thing right now. And trust me, cloud gets boring if you just read the theory. Theory will definitely help you to understand how to apply it. But unless you don't apply, you won't know what you have to do exactly. Okay. And it becomes really interesting and really fun when you start working with the hands-on part of cloud. So here's your, there'll be like different information about it. And then see, this thing over here is your start lab. Once you click it, you can start the lab. So I'll show you how this goes like. Okay, so something like this, it comes when you've done the lab a lot many times. All you got to do in such cases is click help. I choose chat support. Okay, let me write my name. I think it was, okay, let me try it. This is how you can even contact the chat support. Okay. So then your whole chat conversation starts. And meanwhile, I'll explain you how it works. Okay. So here you have a start button. Once you click the start lab button, you will have details on, there will be your username. So basically it will give you your username, password, and the details like your project ID and all. Okay. So remember I had shown you guys the Google Cloud platform. So this is what I had shown you all, right? So I had used a Quick Labs lab itself. So what it does is, if you're doing a lab for a particular project, it will give you the basic resources. You don't have to go and get a virtual machine from the marketplace. You don't have to go and buy the required things. Most of them will be already given to you. All you got to do is you go ahead and use the thing and try the lab. The best part about Quick Lab is you're also scored for your different tasks. So let me try something else. Now, for example, okay. So, for example, I want to understand how to use compute engines in Yep. So if you want to use this compute engine in Windows, you can check this lab out. I'll give you all some of the labs. I'll give you all how to get started with it. So you go ahead and check this out. You will get your information. You can click Start Lab here. Just a minute. And the query is solved. Okay. So okay, let me take you to the previous one. But yeah, so every time you do some task, right? So like it says create a virtual machine instance, it will give you the details on how to go about it. So you can choose whatever values you want. If you want a server or whatever, click all of this. Once you complete the task, you click this check my progress button. And over here, every time you're done, you get scored for it. Okay, so this is a place where you will get to know what you've done, but don't stop at getting 100 score and stop the lab, okay? Because a lot of times there's a lot more coming up, like how to use the Cloud Shell. Then they are showing you how to do an RDP, or you can try the remote desktop. Basically, you are going to use your virtual machine. So if you want to learn all of that, continue even beyond that, okay? Because there's a lot of things that you will learn from there. So let me give you the idea. So basically, right now, I was chatting, right? I just put my problem, my name, my email, and within a minute, my problem was solved. So you just have to mention also the name of the lab, okay? Sometimes your lab can be blocked. Sometimes your quota can exceed. There are a lot of problems that you can face, because after all, you're trying these on a platform. They might think that you are not, like, it's not really cool to, like, you might seem insecure to them, like a person who might have some ill use if you're trying to do the lab again and again. Okay, so let me try to start the lab. I'll just show you all how these things are. This is a free lab. You don't require credits, but most of the other labs will require credits. How to get them is the thing that I'll show you all next. So from here, you can open your Google console. Here's your username, your password, your GCP project ID. When you open the Google console from here, so this is how it will look like. I would suggest you all never open a Google console in your normal browser. Okay, make sure you're using this in an incognito browser. I'll tell you guys the reason. If you use it in a normal browser, it's all right. But you might get signed out of all your other accounts, and you will have to sign in again, which can be annoying if you don't remember passwords. And again, all of them will be piled up in your signed in profiles. Okay, so you just click this. Then the user ID is usually directly added. You have to get back here, add the password, copy the password, come here, paste it, click next. Okay, so this is something what happened just now, because I am using the Google Cloud. Like I use my normal Chrome browser. So they asked me to whether I want to add it to my user profiles. So this is how it looks like. Okay, is this simple? Yep, and Megha Ma'am was asking about the stat package for people passing out with the badges and all. So the start packages for cloud are pretty high. I think usually I'm not really sure in college if we like most of them would come like software roles and all. But if you're getting into a specialization, like if you're going as a cloud engineer or a cloud software developer, or maybe you're getting into the IAS field, you have to try from outside. It'll be like your specialization, and with the more number of skill badges and that you complete, or the certifications that you have and the projects that you do, your packages can be pretty high. Like they can start from, I think, 7 lakhs and go pretty high. Like I know someone, but then yeah, the guy had a lot of internship and work experience as such. The first job offered to that person was around 20 lakhs. Just like, but yeah, exceptionally great. And it was a company in like abroad. Okay. So the packages can be really great, but yeah, you have to be really, really special again. But yeah, even if you're not, if you have that experience, you'll get a pretty great package. So yep. So you can yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for answering that. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Yeah. So okay, so you can, again, when you do these labs, go through all these little things, try it out. I have explained you all of these. Now, there are a few questions in between which you can try out. So probably let's do this together. I'd like to have you guys answer the questions for me. Let's see how much information you can get. Okay. I was supposed to create a Kahoot quiz for you guys, and then I was not feeling well, so I couldn't. So, anyways, getting back. Okay, so what among these four builds you a temporary environment in Google Cloud? Just let's give it a try. Okay.
Guys, wake up. Please.
Chat section.
Chat.
Even if it's wrong, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just give it a try.
Start lab button, probably.
Okay. Yeah, Nivan, you're also allowed to answer. Nivan has done all of this.
That's why he was asking me how many sessions we have. Now I know. Correct, Nevan? He's ignoring me now. He loves to ignore me. Okay, so I have a helping hand. One more helping hand. Okay.
Yep. So start lab's the right answer. So when the time reaches, okay, so right now you can see this timer here, right? So when the timer reaches 0, you will lose access to your temporary Google Cloud environment. True or false? Guys, don't feel worried. I'm still a student. I've still not got my degree. I can understand you guys. Okay, true it is. Great. Some labs have tracking which scores your completion of hands-on lab activities. Okay, let me put a dash here. Now you guys can answer for this question. So this lab doesn't have tracking, but do other labs have tracking? True. Correct. In order to receive completion credit for a lab, so if you want to make sure that your lab is completed, and so that later on, like as I had mentioned about quests earlier, we have something called as quests, and quests have a lot of labs in it. Okay, so once you've completed all the labs in the quest, they come to your profile. So now to get the credit for the lab, and if a lab has tracking, do you need to complete and score the entire amount? Do you need to complete every single thing? Okay. Answer now. I forgot to put the dash earlier. Okay, true. Right answer. So any more questions? So these questions are not necessarily necessary to be answered, but it's always good. You can gain a lot more knowledge and it can help you. It is not a captcha quiz. If you don't answer them right, or if you don't answer them, you'll still be scored for the lab if it's a tracking or a non-tracking lab. Okay, but it kind of helps you to gain your understand whether you've understood a concept well or wrong. Okay, so what is not found in the left pane on Quick Lab? Simple. You guys can see the screen and answer me. Srinidhi, isn't password there on the left? Check the left pane. Yep. Okay, Kamakshi, open Google Console. That button is there on the left. Okay, like just check the left side where there's the end lab and time. Everything is there except for the system admin. Okay, now the username in the left panel, which resembles Google this thing, is a cloud IAM identity. So I showed you guys this thing, but yeah, you guys can try this out because I'm not sure if you all noticed this. So cloud IAM, when I spoke about the different roles, the role-based access, so there's something called as RBA, which is the RBAC, RBAC, role-based access control. So based on your role, they give you some access rules, some permissions, and that is your cloud IAM. So the answer is true. Right answer, guys. So yeah, I showed you the projects and all of it. Let's test your understanding with this. Mention this. Which among these four is the organizing entity for anything that you build with Google Cloud? Think about it. If you're building something on Google Cloud and you want to organize it in a place, there might be different organizations, but you want to organize things. Which would be that? Give it a shot. Don't think about whether it's right or wrong. Okay, so since you all haven't worked with storage bucket, let me tell you, storage bucket is basically, okay, so imagine I want to store within a project, I want to store some images or some files. So I can create these storage buckets and store data within it. Like I can organize in an organized manner, I can store stuff in it. Okay, but that would be inside a Google project. You use username and password to access your account. But if you want to organize your content within it, the first thing what you will use is your Google Cloud project. And that's the answer. Now, QuickLab resources are shared with all QuickLab users, which means that you cannot delete or modify it. This would be your guesswork. Try it out. Is it shared? It's read-only with all the QuickLab users. So, correct answer, guys. QuickLab resources is the project where you run all of your lab steps. Okay, answer after the dash. What do you guys think? True? Let's try. That's the wrong answer. So we try the whole thing in the, it's not true. The answer is false. Basically, you're trying all of this on your Google Cloud platform, which is using your, this is your project ID. Okay. Resources are the resources given to you. Another project is created for you. It's unique to everyone. I guess there's a few questions here. This is just a basic explanation, okay? Just to test how much you know. Now, we had shown different things in the navbar, right? So what exactly among all of these four offers quick access to the platform services and outline its offerings? Okay. So cloud operations would just give you the operations on the cloud. Compute would give you access to virtual machines and all of that. Networking would be networking, but you want to know all the services that the platform has and its offerings. So it's navigation menu. Primitive roles set project level permissions and unless otherwise specified, control access and management to all Google Cloud services. So the basic roles give you project level permissions. And you can, so do you all think that primitive or the basic roles will give you project level permissions and all the other access that you required, like the basic thing? You can change them later though. So primitive roles would be like editor, viewer, maybe, yeah, editor, viewer, writer. Do you guys think it's true? Give it a shot. Guys, anything that comes into your mind. Okay, I like how Nivan just answers when he realizes that the whole class is silent. Okay, so let's check if Nivan's right. And yes, it's the right answer. Moving on. What among these three gives you all the viewer permissions plus permissions for actions that modify states such as changing existing resources? Kamakshi says editor. Shubham says editor. Anyone else? Anything else you guys think? Or should we check whether it's editor itself?
Vritika, excuse
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
I'll
Yes,
just be back in a minute. 1 minute.
Okay, ma'am.
please.
No problem, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
1 minute.
should I continue? Or
Yes, yes, please, please.
Okay.
1 minute. Okay.
Great.
I'll be
Yeah,
back.
ma'am, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, sure. So, right answer, guys. So, such a thing might confuse you, okay, since it says viewer permissions. But then check what else is written there. It says also to modify state. Now, why I said go through the questions. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And yes, it might not help. But there's one thing. In the future, you might be given a case, okay, like a case study, which you're going to work on at work or whatever it is, probably an interview also. Make sure that you look at the minute things in the question. There might be something you are missing out on. Okay. Let's move on. We have APIs and services. There's just one question. When you start a lab in Quick Labs, you need to enable APIs in your project to start working with Google Cloud. I showed you all, even the first lab which I showed you all, it was in Quick Labs itself. Did I enable any APIs? Okay. Anyone else who thinks otherwise? Okay. So let's check both answers. Okay, you can attempt both of them. So fine. So all of you who think, I don't remember enabling any API. But yeah, so the answer is false. Okay. So as Nidhi said, yeah, like I know it, I had shown you all how to enable APIs, but I hadn't enabled any Google Cloud API. I showed you all the map API. So usually you might have to, but Quick Labs, as I said, all resources, everything is already ready for you. So you don't have to do. Okay, so with that, we answered all the questions. You just click End Lab and you end it. And then you can give a review about it as well. So just a minute. I had promised you guys to give you some kind of credits through which you guys can work on Google Cloud Platform and using Quick Labs, and you all don't have to work on anything else, right? Sure. Let's get started with that. I'll paste a link here. Just a minute. Where's that link gone? Yep. Okay. So you guys can check this out. Okay. I'll share the screen as well. Okay, for the others. Also, after the session, I'll share all the links which I have with Megha ma'am also, so she can share it with your class. So if you missed out or you fell out of the meeting in between, don't worry. Ma'am can share the meeting links with you all later. Okay. So this is something called as the Google Cloud Skills Challenge. It basically gives you 30 days access to a list of labs which is given. All you got to do is copy the code you have, they give you, and you can start your journey. Now, I would always, like anyone would suggest you to take the first lab as the tour of the Quick Lab and Google Cloud, because though I have explained you all of it, it's always good and it doesn't require any credits. Okay. So using this particular code, you will get some 9 credits in your account. As in when you do your labs, you get more credits, and you can do this for like 30 days for free. And these are some quests that they've given. You can either get started. These 3 are basic cloud quests which I've done, which are here. So this is like the VM, like how do you create virtual machines. You can also how to create Kubernetes clusters. That's something else which you would also learn from it. All these different basic tasks you are going to learn here. Now, all these are skill badges. So I told you guys, right, there's something called as quests and there's skill badges. Usually skill badges test your knowledge on it, how much you can work on it. So usually a skill badge has all the labs in a quest where every like all the basic things are told to you how and what to do. And the last lab is a challenge lab. Over there, you will be tested. They will give you the task. You have to do it by yourself. Okay. So all of that would be here. Like there'll be a lot of labs, and the last one would be a challenge lab to test your task. So here we have a data analytics track. If you're interested in machine learning and big data, and also you guys can get more idea about how to work with it. If you're trying this, I would suggest you to start with this. Okay. Like at least this, it's good if you can get started and complete all of them. But before getting into something else, understand this. Okay. Understand how you can create and manage the resources, and then go ahead with your different tracks. If you like not interested in cloud, just want machine learning, then go this way, because you will have the basics, fundamentals strong in your head, and then this will be very easy. BigQuery is very simple. If you worked with SQL earlier, you will understand it really well. Database, did you guys have database management system? I think this is a mixed class, is it, for electives?
No, Vritika, this class is right now they've just come to the 3rd year.
Okay.
Okay.
So is it like IT department only, or a mixture of?
Right now it's not. I've not have that open elective. How many students I have for that? So right now it is just IT.
Okay, this is not an elective.
This is an elective, but
okay,
it's
I'm
it's an
confused.
elective of IT department.
Okay.
So right now we have only IT department students here. No one, anyone from outside here? I don't think so.
Okay.
We are all IT department students here right now at the moment. Okay.
Cool. Got it. Yep. So, but I think did you all do database management system as a subject earlier?
We have it as a subject now.
Right
That's
now?
the subject this semester.
Oh, okay, great. Anyone who has do you guys have you guys worked with SQL or database? Anyone who hasn't yet? don't feel scared or something to tell. If you haven't worked, you can tell. So probably if required, I could send some resource for that also. So then ma'am can share with y'all. So it'll just be easier for y'all because BigQuery does definitely have a lot of explanation. But if you can, like if you know SQL in advance, it'll be really helpful. Okay, so Navan says that you guys had to do a mini project or something last year. Okay, cool. Great then. So yeah, so SQL would be used here. Then we have the Kubernetes track. Yeah, this would be your data analytics track. You have your Kubernetes track, which would be all related to that, containerization and all. MLAI, this is especially MLAI, you might be creating a chatbot over here. In the data analytics, you would be analyzing data using machine learning algorithms as well. But over here specifically, you might be like creating classification models, basically to classify based on pictures, like image recognition. They'll give you some pictures and you have to classify which what that image is from, or it could be something like creating a chatbot. So little tasks like that would be here. And native app would be all how you can build apps with Google Assistant, how you can deploy your projects on the cloud using Firebase or different cloud services. Okay. And it's not just this, there's so much of that you can learn from this. I would suggest you guys to get started with this. You've seen the Quick Labs platform. You know there are a lot of quests that you can try out. So if you're interested, for example, you might be a full stack developer. Just an example. You want to know how to, or you're a backend developer, you want to host a Node.js project. There'll be a quest dedicated to it, which will give you all the details. See, step by step, everything is given to you. So not just now, but if you're even building a project later on, because the content doesn't go anywhere, all the Quick Labs content is there. So all you have to do is come back to Quick Labs, see the content, and then do it accordingly in your project. So it becomes really helpful. And trust me, the knowledge of this helps you in the other cloud service providers also. Like I've worked on Google Cloud and Azure, and it's kind of really similar to me now. And like when I had started with Azure, and when I came here, like I knew most of the concepts and all, and it became really easy. Okay, so let's continue. So I have shared, like you guys can try this out. And let me know, okay, I'll give you like maybe 3 minutes or something. If you haven't yet tried out, can you guys make a Quick Labs account and tell me how much, like if it's fine. I don't want to take a lot of time. I will try to end it sooner. Or probably if anyone has any doubts till now,
Guys, you
anything
can
that
try
you have
and
to clear.
make the Quick Labs account. Yeah. And if there's any issue, you can always ask right now because you shouldn't face any hitch there. I had posted this long back from an LinkedIn post that I had got. I had posted this on your group. I don't know how many of you all actually saw it and how many of you all just ignored it.
Okay, Srinidhi is done. I think Nivan is also done. Shubham is also done. See, the easiest way to have a Quick Lab account, just if you have a Google, just log into that. And yeah, make sure that you click the end lab button once you're done, okay? A lot of times people don't end a lab and they try to open another, and then they worry why the other one is not opening. It won't open if your lab is open. Now, that lab might be open on any system, but the other lab won't open. Also, avoid using mobile for Quick Lab, like to do the labs. There are a lot of problems and issues which come through that. So always use your system. So this is the link for that. There are a lot of challenges like this which go on throughout the year. There are different ways in which you can get these skills. So recently, we had organized the Google Cloud Ready Facilitator program in GEC. And you have your friend Nivan also who participated in it. And he got the 3rd milestone, I think, right, Nivan? So he got a lot of goodies for that. A lot of people, like I think within the college, around 175 people something could get goodies. There were a lot who participated, but who couldn't do much. So think about like participate in these programs. Try to even facilitate them in the college if you can, because it's not just giving you the like yeah, some people do participate just for the goodies, but yeah, you also got the skill badges, you learned a lot of concepts. uh, Now you know what you can do, you're learning something, and never feel that you are less in for any reason. A lot of people like juniors only texted me saying that okay, I'm scared to take an internship because I don't have the required knowledge. How would you learn something if you're not trying it out? Internship is a period for learning, so are these different programs. There might be some prerequisites required. Yeah, if there are a lot of prerequisites which you can't learn, then it's okay, but go ahead and take the leap. You will succeed at the end. So yep, any other questions that you guys have? Yeah, Nivan got a t-shirt, a bag, two bags, right? A laptop bag, a sling bag, and a sticker, pen, and a thank you card from Google, I guess. So I think he missed the last milestone by just a few quests, and he's one of those cases wherein like throughout the program he was very chill, and in the last 1 week, he I think within 3 or 4 days, like he spent the whole day and he completed the labs. That was like great. Like it was so wonderful to see something like that happen.
Nevan shows his chill, at the back of his mind.
Yep.
He has a lot of things going on. So that's one good,
Yep.
I don't know, that's what I feel. But, I want to motivate these others,
Yep.
to do something different, to, like, don't like just think that, IT or comp is just software development, coding, programming, this, that. No, do something. Take a career which is like, a different one, not just like
Yep.
coder or something like that. I really don't know how to, like, there are so many things, right? But with this kind of a
Yes.
session, we know where exactly to start. So that's really important.
Plus, you
I
guys are lucky. You guys like have everything online currently. At least there's so much you can explore.
Yeah, but then if you see now, we have a class of 41 and we don't have, like, we are just like running short, me and you included in the meet still. And and specifically why I had you on board, Vritika, is because when any webinars happen or seminars take place, what students are looking out for,
Yep.
and how to handhold them. So that's precisely the reason, and like, it's a motivating, so they know that someone who's just passed out from college can do so much, like, why can't I be one of them? But I don't know, I don't see that driving force like in many of them. Few, yes, definitely, but I don't know.
So you guys like take this as a motivation. Like whenever your
But I like
friends
the
or someone
response
in the class.
throughout the entire class today. You made it really, really interesting. Yes. So, yes, guys, are you all there? Any questions?
Guys, you can try the quick labs also once. Yeah, Nidhi raised a hand. Okay, was that for are you still there?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
So as soon as the thing gets over, you guys can try it out. I think you might as well take a break right now. It's been pretty a long time, so you guys can take a break later. You all can try out some labs. It's good to learn and like you'll do something. Yeah, there are different events also which happen. Google Next is also an event
Tomorrow
which
there
is
is one event happening, right? Tomorrow there is an event happening, right?
not really sure.
Oh, what did I register for? Okay, fine, I'll check it
I
out.
think is it Google DevFest?
I don't know. There are so many things that I have just
Yeah.
the moment. So yes. Okay, Vritika, just one question,
Yeah.
right? So you had cloud computing as an elective, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, you didn't take it then,
Nope.
right?
No.
Okay. So what was your driving force to this?
To the Google Cloud Ready Facilitator program.
Yes.
Okay, basically, I always wanted to learn cloud computing. In my first year, I had taken up a workshop. I think it was AWS. We paid some, I think 1,800 or 2,000. We took it up, and 2 whole days we spent there, and all we have is memories of taking photos and eating naans there. What I'm saying is, it was like a full auditorium, and they just went so fast through all the concepts that we couldn't understand anything, and they didn't consider that there were students attending it. I guess not really sure. So I at that time I felt so bad because I had always been interested by cloud computing. So I was doing my internship at Microsoft. Before that, we had a hackathon where we had started, like Microsoft's main cloud is Azure. So we had started over there learning that, and it seemed really interesting, like so many different things to learn. So soon after that, I took up the Microsoft certifications. I'll share the link with you guys also. So if these people want to try, those are free certifications for students. They have to just attend a training day wherein an instructor will explain all the concepts, and then they can answer the certifications. It's really good to have them. You learn those concepts. So that's where I learned it for the first time. And I realized that it's really nice to know the cloud. I found it really interesting. So before this, we had our electives, and that's when I hadn't chosen cloud already. So the hackathon happened in December. Our electives for cloud was, I think, in August.
Okay.
So anyways, like whether or not I took the elective, I actually checked all the theory taught in the elective, and I realized that I learned all the concepts in the application manner, which made me happy because without taking the elective also, I got to learn all of this.
Okay. Fine.
So yeah, so
Fair.
right now you have the added advantage. If you're taking the elective, you will have that, plus you can try it out like on these platforms that you have. So
Yeah,
make good use of it.
that's precisely important to have a
Yep.
demo and then go back and try to like correlate the theory, like
Yes.
then you understand things better.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And you might face errors and issues in between, and that's a good thing. Okay, every time you face a problem, you face a bug, try to solve it. Troubleshooting is the best way to learn something.
Okay. With your permission, can I host this meet on the YouTube channel?
Yep, ma'am, anytime,
You
don't
don't
worry.
mind, right?
No, ma'am, it's all right.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Looks like only I'm asking questions. I mean, not like questions, but still. Anyone else?
I think Harshad asked a question about Google Next. Google Next is an event related to Google Cloud. It's basically a conference wherein different people speak about clouds, the different applications and all. I've not actually attended it, but yeah, I've heard a lot about it. So if you're really interested, you can see, like usually these events, they will help you understand what are the depths that cloud can be used to and what amazing things it can be used for. So can give you a great idea. And if you're attending such events, make sure you're networking also, like post events, you can connect with the speakers on LinkedIn. Helps a lot. Like a lot many times you get to know about opportunities through when someone posts about it only. That's all about social media right now.
Anyone else? Okay.
Cool. So if not, you guys can also connect with me, post the session. Okay, I'll just go to the last slide. On my LinkedIn or Twitter, if you guys want, like I don't mind taking doubts there also. I'll just share the links with you guys. Yeah, and if you're connecting on LinkedIn, you can also like drop a note saying that you're from GEC. I don't accept a lot of requests unless they're GC and someone.
Okay.
Like I should know who they are exactly. There are some random requests there, so yep. So I guess that's it from my side. Thank you so much for having me, ma'am, here. And thank you
Thank
for being
you.
such an interactive audience.
Yeah, they were really interactive today. So thank you for the audience for being interactive. Yes, I'm sure they were pretty much interested throughout the session. And Vritika, thank you for giving us your time. I know you have busy schedules, you have trainings, you have a lot of other things going on, and giving us your time. I mean, it really made a lot of, difference. And yes, uh, from the bottom of my heart, I would really like to thank you a lot on behalf of IT department. And I'm hosting this on behalf of Intensa. Right now, I'm the sole player of Intensa. There's no one to help me out with
Counts.
Intensa. Okay, so yeah, so Nevan was asking when is the next session.
um, we'll have it soon. When do you want it? I'll try my best. My job starts soon, so I'll get to have an idea about when I can come next time.
Yeah, but maybe now it's going tomorrow. From tomorrow, I think they have Ganesh vacation, and
Yep.
after that, I just want them to get into this zone, try and make their hands dirty into this, and maybe later maybe we'll approach you again and
Yep.
stuff like that. And I know now there's one more person here also, Nevan, who can be a motivating force for all of them. I don't know to how to motivate them. I don't know whether it's the goodies, whether it's the package. Like I want them to get their self highlighted from the others. I really don't understand how to do that, but let's see. Yes, maybe we'll be there soon. Yeah, you want to add something there, Vritika?
No, ma'am. Like as much as I know, like every student in GAC is talented. It's just that push that they require. Like I know a lot of people, especially during the Cloud Ready Facilitator program. I've seen this. People were interested. They wanted to do it, but then I remember personally texting people and motivating them to do it. So it's just that they require that little push. But I'm pretty sure everyone, each one of you will do something special. So just don't get if you feel that you're overworking, take a break. But after the break, make sure you come back with a bang. Like save all that energy for the amazing things that you're going to do next. That's all.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Take care,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah.
Happy Ganesh Chaturthi in advance to everyone.
Do the
Enjoy
same.
the break.
Yes, but I want to talk to my students. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. I'll leave. I'll
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
ma'am. Take care. Bye, guys.
Okay, so half the class has already dropped off. Others are there. Okay, guys. Now you can just turn on your mic and talk. Okay, whenever I ask you a question. How was this session for y'all? For me, it was really, really great. Okay, so for y'all, is it channeling you into what direction you're supposed to be looking at? Is it like the first step that you need to take is clear? See, it's not programming. Okay, so don't worry about that. So I'm just trying to tell people who have not got onto the programming lines right now, and have given up. So venture out new some other place. So has there been I try to do this so that somewhere down the line you'll realize and maybe take that first baby step. Yes. So I have a task for y'all. Do you want me to give it to you after Ganesh, or do you want me to give it to you today? I have actually three tasks. One task you already did. Please tell me, because now we are not in first year, we're not in second year. Okay, so I want to work as a team, and like you know start sailing. Okay, so depends on the task, right? Yes, I'm sure you all must have done this task, but eventually after you do the task, I will read out the task. Y'all take a call and tell me when y'all want to submit. Okay. So the first task, just listen to me. If you don't understand me, uh, you have to create a GitHub account. I asked you this question yesterday, and most of y'all said that y'all already have one. Okay, those who don't have, please do it. It doesn't take much time. Okay, that's your first task A. First task B, put up your portfolio, minimum 2 pages. So many messages coming. Wait. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, good. All right, not difficult, very simple. Okay. So on that GitHub, put up a portfolio. At least create 2 minimum pages. The first one, index.html. The second one, about me. And in the about me, you can put in your achievements and stuff like that. But in your index.html, have your small picture put up. Is that okay with everyone? Y'all can please unmute yourself and correct me or tell me whatever y'all want to say. Okay, let's make this a little conducive and friendly environment. Is that okay? So